we'll see if the floodgates open. Gerstich on goal! Yes, sir! Shane Gerstich makes it 2!
No matter the conference affiliation, the venue, or the time between meetings, it still does not get much better than UND and Minnesota. Hello and welcome to North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry. I'm Alex Heinert. Coming up on today's program, we're going to take you to the Twin Cities for the renewal of the rivalry with the Gophers, look ahead to this weekend's NCHC clash with Denver, and get a little patriotic here on Election Day, all with the head coach of North Dakota men's hockey, Brad Berry. And Brad, this had been a rivalry between Minnesota that has been cultivated over the years. It doesn't take a lot to get people excited about these two teams playing together.
No, it doesn't. Obviously, it's been a long time since we have played them, and for our group going forward, I think they enjoyed going down to Minneapolis and playing, and for the most part, had played well for the 120 minutes that we were down there.
Yeah, entering this weekend, nobody on your current roster had ever played a series against the Gophers, which seems a little unbelievable, but you got a couple of guys from UND to make a trip down from Winnipeg over the weekend to give the guys a little heads up on what to expect.
Yeah, Taylor Chorney and TJ Oshie had some time when they were up in Winnipeg before they played the Jets. They came down on their day off, and they kind of just went over a little bit of what that experience would be, and I gave our guys some insight into that series and how the rivalry takes place. So I think it was great to see those guys.
Yeah, the guys certainly took their advice. Coming up on Friday, we'll have the highlights of that game against the Gophers coming up after the break.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back. We're just getting into game one of a weekend series against number 13 Minnesota with Brad Berry. And Brad, your team coming off their first defeats of the season a week ago against Duluth. How did this team respond in practice during the week?
We had an excellent week of practice. We worked extremely hard from Monday all the way through Friday, the time we played the first game in Minnesota. Worked on a lot of different things, and I think it showed. I think the start of the game on Friday, we came out with a 2-0 lead. Played the right way, and obviously had a couple of leads throughout the game, and unfortunately it resulted in a tie. But I thought our effort deserved a lot better than that.
Yeah, let's go to that Friday night game now against the Gophers in Mariucci Arena. The latest chapter in the storied history between North Dakota and Minnesota. Friday night, another classic. As you mentioned, no shortage of goals in this one. It started right off the bat, just 1:35 in. Hayden Shaw with a shot here from the point off the feed from Christian Melanin finds its way in the back of the net.
Yeah, you know what? Worked hard to get into their zone, and we got a puck from low to high, and had good net front there, and that's the start we wanted. We were talking about how we've been chasing leads all the way through this start of the season, and we found a way to get the first goal.
Yeah, after conceding first in your last 6 games, great to get one on the board right there. And you get another one not too long later, a power play goal that Austin Pagansky able to redirect from a shot from Christian Melanin from the point.
Again, good net front on the power play. That's what you need. And again, 2-0 lead. That's a start we wanted. And I thought, like I said, the first 10 minutes of this period, we had the momentum of the game going in the right direction.
Third goal of the season from Pagansky, who would eventually get credited. Good net front presence, as you mentioned, in front of Eric Shearhorn. But U of M would come back. A strong rush in the front. The puck finds its way to the back of the net.
Yeah, obviously penalty kill has been kind of hampering us here a little bit lately, and they have a very good power play, and we gave them a couple opportunities in the first period. That generates momentum from them, and they got back in the game.
Yeah, Vinny Lettieri there with the power play goal. 2-1 at that point. Odd man rush here for the Gophers. Big save by Cam.
Yeah, Cam came up big here. Again, we gave up some opportunities later in the period, and he had to be there to make sure that that wasn't a goal.
13 saves in the first period alone for Cam Johnson. Another power play opportunity here for Minnesota, and this time he wasn't able to stop the shot.
Yeah, a quick puck movement. Again, on the power play, gave them an opportunity to generate some momentum by getting pucks to the net here. And again, now we're in a game. It's 2-2.
Yeah, goal initially waved off. They would review it. They would find that Tom Novak did hit the underside of the bar. Puck was in. 2-2, as you mentioned. Towards the end of the period, another decent opportunity for the Gophers, but again, Cam able to step up.
Yeah, I thought our gap control was a little loose here coming back through the neutral zone here. And again, they have some skilled players that can capitalize through that.
Going into the third period now. A couple of good chances for both teams in the second, but things got really interesting right off the bat in the third. You mentioned an early goal in the first period. Brock Besser would score 44 seconds into the third to make it 3-2.
Yeah, it's so pivotal, trying to the momentum swings going back and forth, and there was a mindset in the third period of taking the game over, and the Gersich line, Jost and Besser here capitalized on a good play, but again, playing hard, playing the right way.
Yeah, great work behind the net from Tyson Jost. That was Besser's 7th goal of the season. You go up 3-2. But again, on the power play, Minnesota finds a way to tie things up.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it's something that we have to continually work on as a special teams part of it. And unfortunate that we gave up this lead, but I think the result coming back is we had a big pushback right after this.
Yeah, Tyler Sheehy ends up with the goal there on the backhand, tied up at 3, about halfway through the 3rd period. But as was the case, again, time and time again, great effort by this top line to go back up 1. Great individual effort here from Tyson Jost.
Yep, got the puck below the goal line, making them defend, and Tyson does a great job of protecting the puck and bringing it to the net front and getting us into the lead once more.
Perfect power turn here from the freshman to find his way, and then good patience just to let Shearhorn go down and get the big goal to go up 4-3. 2nd goal of the season for Tyson. 4 minutes later, again, Minnesota just would not give up. Another opportunity and a scramble in front, a quick shot beats Cam Johnson.
Yeah, and this was a frustrating part, having the lead with 5 minutes left in the game and not making a clear attempt there and, being weak net front and giving them a goal. But again, have a chance to come back.
2 minutes left in the game. Tucker Pullman off the face-off the defenseman. A great shot to beat Shearhorn glove side and make it 5-4.
Yep, Tucker's a pretty evasive player, very powerful, and here he makes a play to get to the middle. And again, he has a tremendously strong shot, going to the net and find a way to get the lead with a couple minutes left.
Yeah, at this point, again, the 9th goal of this game. A great blast there from Pullman, his 2nd of the season. Again, up 5-4. Minnesota, of course, rolls the dice. Empty net, extra attacker out there, and about 40 seconds after that goal by Pullman, they would find the back of the net to tie it at 5.
Yeah, and this is reminiscent of their season. I mean, they've scored past couple games with the extra attacker. They've capitalized, and again, we were kind of loose in a few areas as far as being weak a little bit net front here, and didn't get the block, and they capitalized and scoring the tying goal again.
Yeah, 2nd goal of the game for Tom Novak. That sends it into overtime right away in the extra frame. A couple of really good chances for your team. Tyson Jost here finding Tucker Pullman late on the rush.
Yeah, good entry, finding a late guy going to the net. Unfortunately, we didn't score, but I thought we had the right mindset in overtime here, getting to him.
Yeah, a minute after the fact, another good chance there for Rhett Gardner. Good chances for both teams in that overtime period, but in the end, no breakthrough for either side. The game ends in a 5-5 draw. 23 combined penalties in this one. They outshoot you 37-22 on the game, but only 23-19 at even strength. They do go 3 of 8 though on the power play. They really took advantage of the man advantage in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's the point of emphasis going into Saturday with discipline. We needed to make sure that we stayed out of the penalty box against a very good power play. And again, we learned a lot from giving up the lead where we worked so hard to get.
A game after being shut out against Duluth, the offense really came alive in this one. What was working offensively for you?
I think playing north, playing fast, trying to get the pucks below their goal line and trying to make them defend a little bit. And, not just one line, but all 4 lines.
You mentioned, of course, they would come back kind of time and time again in this one. You were able to get a goal lead. They would come back. How important, though? They never led in this contest. You never let them pull ahead, especially in that environment. That must have been huge to maintain at least that comfort level.
Yeah, again, very disappointed as far as giving up the lead a couple of times, but knowing that there was a pushback, there was a response after every time they tied it up, that we didn't give up, that we kept moving forward, and again, that's a sign of our team, our culture.
Yeah, so the 5-5 tie on Friday night. We'll have more to come on Game 2 in this series after the break here on North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry. Welcome back. Well, on the back of Friday's 5-5 tie at Narayuchi with Minnesota, number 13 in the country, number 3 North Dakota get a chance to get back on the winning side of things on Saturday. And we talked a little bit about going into this game, how this is a different ice size than you've seen this season. Narayuchi, one of the fewer places that you'll play with Olympic size ice. Sounded like the guys took a little bit to get used to the extra space out there. Talk about what that meant going into this series.
Yeah, 100 feet wide. It's 85 feet is a normal NHL size rink, so it is a little bit wider, a little bit more to get around on that rink. We had a good week of practice at the Ralph here. We have an Olympic size sheet, so that was very important for our preparation. I thought Friday night we were good at our puck movement, just defending in our end of the rink through penalty kill and 5-on-5. We were a little bit loose that area, but I thought a lot better on Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday, you did not have Tucker Pullman, a late scratch, took a shot in that first game on Friday. How much does missing a guy that does so many things for you hurt you?
Yeah, absolutely. The minutes he plays, the type of minutes he plays, he plays a heavy, hard game. And again, we missed him in the lineup, but other guys came in. Andrew Pesky came in and did a good job. And I think our group felt that we needed to be strong defensively to try to offset Tucker being out. So our group made a good push that night.
Yeah, that next man up mentality certainly on display on Saturday. Still lots of firepower out there wearing the green and the black in front of another packed house, over 10,000 at Mariucci for this one. In first period, remember, UND scored a minute and a half into game one. You would nearly strike as early at the start of Saturday's contest. A good chance just 2 minutes in. Johnny Simonson nearly with the rebound off this was a cop shot.
Yeah, we had a good drive and shoot, and the mentality of getting puck to the net and hit the post early. It would have been nice to get that one early.
A couple of minutes later, another decent chance. Christian Milanen puts one on frame. Tyson Jost, good net front presence, but again, the rebound just doesn't quite fall. Both teams with good chances early. Minnesota here with an opportunity on the rush.
Yeah, they're a rush team. They have good speed. They have good offensive players up front, and they executed and made a good play.
About halfway through the first, another great opportunity as Austin Pagansky would find Dixon Bowen open, and again, another good save by Eric Shearhorn.
Yeah, Pogo came in and got the puck and made a great play to get it over to Dixon. And again, we sustained a little bit of offense even after that original offensive attempt.
Bowen, the freshman, a couple decent opportunities in this game, but early in the contest, just good defensive play from both sides. Key moment here, about 10.5 minutes in, Tyson Jost gets sent off for a delay of game penalty, and right off the faceoff, Minnesota takes advantage.
Well, it's kind of indicative of the game the night before. We're up 2-0, and here we had momentum again. They get a power play and they score right off it. So again, a momentum shift, and again, something that we got to keep in mind, not taking too many penalties.
Mike Smatula with the goal, beating Cam to the far post. 1-0 Gophers at that point. We go to the second period, and again, just a couple of seconds in, another great opportunity for UND. Brock Besser, kind of a look what I found opportunity on the interception, hits the inside of the pipe.
Yeah, turnover by their team, and we were in the right place at the right time. And again, I think it was a night of posts. I think we had 4 or 5 during the game, and we needed one of those to go in.
Yeah, you'd have another one right here. Ludwig off on the break, beating Shearhorn, but can't beat the pipe.
Yep, it's one of those nights. It's a game of hockey, and again, when you're out chancing 30 to 15 over the course of the night, you'd think 1 or 2 would go in, but it wasn't the case.
Yeah, another couple of good opportunities there off the back end of a power play. But halfway through the second period, the Gophers would strike again. Steve Johnson with a deflected shot. Vinny Lettieri there to put the rebound in past Cam, 2-0 at this point.
Yeah, off the face-off, I know we lose the draw and we lose a little bit of coverage going back to the net off of a wide-angle shot. And obviously not the goal that we wanted to give up.
2 minutes later, great chance here. Joel Janatuinen on the 3-on-2 just gets pushed aside by Shearhorn in the end.
Yeah, good play. It chipped the middle and a good disbursement out. And I think he just got the right blocker on it and another opportunity.
2 minutes after that, third pipe of the second period. Johnny Simonson this time beating Shearhorn, but just unable to find the back of the net.
Yeah, I think you're seeing a common theme in this game here, that we're getting a lot of chances and not burying it. And again, Dixon Bowen coming down the middle here on a breakaway too. So again, playing the right way, doing the right things, and just not capitalizing. 14-7
shots in your favor just in the second period alone. You could tell the team was ready for this one. It just didn't seem to click, couldn't quite find the right bounce. Nearly a great opportunity here. You pull Cam Johnson, of course, at the end of the game, scramble in front off a Besser shot. The net eventually gets dislodged. Maybe the best chance here with 39 seconds left. After a little scuffle, they determined that the net was shoved off when the puck was in the crease. You get a great opportunity on the penalty shot coming up.
Yeah, it's a NCAA rule knocking the net off in the last minute or a couple minutes of the game here. And Brock scored on a penalty shot early in the season, and he's looking 5-hole. Almost had it here, and would have been big if we would have scored that.
Yeah, every time you see it, it looks like there's space there, but Eric Shearhorn able to get down and just block away the path. Brock Besser gets stopped. 2-0 ends up being the final for Minnesota. That was one of 33 saves on the night for Shearhorn. They preserve the shutout and they extend UND's winless streak at Mariucci now to 9 games. A disappointing result, but another strong effort tonight for North Dakota.
Obviously, when you have a team like Minnesota, our biggest rival, on your schedule, you have that one circled. It was a lot of fun. The environment was crazy. It's the first time any of us have played there, and I'm glad that rivalry is back.
That could have been one of our better games the whole year. It could have been our best game we've played all year. Saturday night, I think we dominated them in every category except goals. So, there's a lot of positives coming from that, just kind of rebounding from Friday, because we definitely weren't happy with the way that we took the lead and then they came back. So I think we can only build from that Saturday night game.
I think if there's one thing we'll take out of the weekend, it's how to build together a 60-minute game like that, because that's what it takes to win. And especially with Denver coming up in league play, it's only going to get harder.
Well, it wasn't the end results in the end that you were looking for, but still, you really dominated this game, dominated shots, didn't take nearly as many penalties on Saturday. Just your thoughts over the performance on Saturday night and overall for the weekend, Coach?
Well, we addressed a couple things after Friday's game, after tying that game, was penalties and discipline. I thought our guys were a lot better discipline-wise on limiting the penalties, which was good. The unfortunate thing is we didn't capitalize on our chances, and when you look at this team compared to last year's team, the championship team we had last year went through a lot of these growing pains early on in their careers too, and again, that's what we're going through right now. We're not getting the results on the scoreboard right now, but again, it's a work in progress and something that our guys are going through and learning early in the season.
Yeah, we're looking ahead now after back-to-back weeks on the road. You get to come home. Tough opponent, though. The scheduling makers don't give you any ease here as Denver comes to town. Number 2 in the nation is a team that always plays you guys so tough. So many fun memories over the seasons.
Yeah, and again, that's our league. That's the NCHC. There's not a weak sister in the NCHC. It's all tough opponents, and that's what we're going to face going forward here. So it'll make our group better. And again, I thought we came off of a good weekend. I know results-wise it didn't show it, but a total 120 minutes. I thought we played the right way and didn't get rewarded.
This weekend against this Denver team, you had a couple of classic matchups with them last season. Both of these teams are very different from the squads that were out there a year ago, but we expect much of the same style of play, at least from both clubs.
Yeah, I think both teams mirror each other. They play hard away from the puck. They've got some good offensive players. They have good goaltending, so it should be a great matchup in the NCHC this weekend.
Yeah, well, good deal. Well, best of luck getting prepared for the Pioneers, and good luck this weekend, Coach.
Thanks, Alex.
When we come back, we're going to get political, sort of. Stick around. Well, this is Election Day across America, so in the spirit of this patriotic occasion, we thought we'd ask a couple of quasi-political, semi-UND-related questions to members of the men's hockey team. So here is our North Dakota hockey version of Decision 2016.
I'd have to say John Simonson.
John Simonson.
John Simonson.
John Simonson.
Jeez, I'd have to say John Simonson.
We kind of joked that he'd run for president one day, but I think he'd be a great president for sure.
Yeah, most likely running for office would be John Simonson or Gage Osmus. I feel they have a very political mindset and they don't like to lose arguments, so I think they would fit that for sure.
A guy like Tucker Pullman, just an honest, straightforward guy, and just a people's man, I think.
I have to say Trevor Olson. He kind of has a little crazy mind. He can kind of relate to a lot of guys on our team, and he can kind of get the best out of guys. So I'd say Trevor Olson.
I don't know if he's the best, but he likes to give the most speeches. Is Brock Besser. He, sometimes we want to put the muzzle on him because he talks a lot.
Might have to be Cam Johnson. He's a good public speaker as is, and he's got good views.
Other than myself, I'd have to say probably our captain, Gage Osmus.
Gage is very good at giving speeches. He's got a lot of passion, and the guys like to rally behind him.
I usually like Gage's speeches right before, around the net and everything.
Goose is really good. I mean, being the captain is kind of expected, but he does a really good job before games getting the boys fired up.
I like to think I've come a long way since my freshman year and giving speeches in front of everyone.
I'd have to go George W. Bush.
I like George W. Bush.
Probably through history class, I'd say Abraham Lincoln. Just kind of seemed like a backwoods kind of guy.
Kind of studying Abe Lincoln right now, and I kind of like Lincoln, I think. So.
I'd have to say Barack Obama. He's pretty funny.
America. It's not even close. You got some art major running their country up there, and we got smart people down here.
Oh, Canada for sure. Obviously, I'm not going to say America. I'm Canadian at heart, so we do everything better.
Oh, America, easily.
Oh, America for sure. I played juniors up in Canada last year, and we had debates all the time. They think their medical system's way better, but it's not. So America for sure.
I'm going to stick with Canada. Safer up there.
It's your duty as a citizen of the United States of America just to get out and vote. And if everyone got the idea that my vote doesn't really matter, then no one would vote.
Part of a democracy is citizens, taking part and picking over the issues that they see fit. So that's why you should vote.
If you don't get your say out there, then you really can't say anything.
It's definitely a right people shouldn't take advantage of, and you should definitely just get out there and you should have some say in who runs your country.
it brings out the best ideas in the country, I guess. Like, we want everyone to vote.
It's obviously a right to vote, and I think here in America we're a free country, so take everything you can and come take advantage of what you can and cannot do.
There's no thing that's stopping you from doing it, and it's not going to hurt you if you do it either. So yeah, it's your right. Go out and do it.
You know, your vote's very important.
That's all we need. God bless America, and God bless Canada, for that matter. We'll stick around. We're going to wrap things up here with a look at this weekend series against Denver, coming up after the break.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
North Dakota in search of a win this weekend, but it will not come easy against another top 10 team as second-ranked Denver. The Pioneers come to Grand Forks this weekend. These conference rivals had a number of classic battles last season, including UND's win in last year's Frozen Four semifinal. We can expect more of the same this time around. You can catch all the action in person at Ralph Engelstad Arena or live here on Midco Sports Network with Jake Brandt and I Friday at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday at 7 p.m. As always, we invite you to relive all the events of the weekend with us next Tuesday night on North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry. Until then, I'm Alex Heinert. We'll see you at the Ralph.